This is a video walkthrough for problem 3-10b. For each of the piece rate workers at Peregrine Snow Sports, determine their gross pay. If the employees have a standard 37.5-hour work week, determine their effective hourly rate. Based on the minimum wage for New Hampshire, what is the minimum wage that they must receive each week? If they are not receiving the Federal Labor Standards Act minimum wage for that pay period, what is the difference that must be paid by the employer? Remember, effective hourly rate equals gross pay divided by 37.5. Our first worker is S. Jackson, who creates snowboards. During the week, he created 25 snowboards. Since they're paid by piece rate, those are rate per item of 9. So we have 25 times 9 for a gross pay of $225. To determine how much Jackson made per hour, we will take their gross pay and divide it by 37.5, which makes $6 per hour. We'll come to the minimum pay and the difference columns after we have calculated each of the 3 employees. A. Foster is our next employee, and she creates helmets. She created 30 helmets at a rate of 7.75 per helmet for a total of $232.50. This gives her an effective hourly rate, which is the wages she earned, her gross pay divided by 37.5, of $6.20. Our last worker is Howard, and Howard works creating bindings, 80 of which were completed during this pay period at a rate of 4.5 per binding, for total gross wages of $360. This gives an effective rate by taking the 360 and dividing it by 37.5 of $9.60. Looking in our appendix, we find that the minimum rate is $7.25. So if the employees earned $7.25 for their 37.5-hour work week, they should earn $271.88. Of these 3 employees, only Howard has exceeded the $271.88, so there will be no additional amount owed by the employer for the difference between the FLSA minimum wage and what the employee has earned. To determine what the employer must contribute to bring the wage up to minimum wage, we will take the minimum pay and subtract out their gross pay. So for Jackson, the employer must contribute $46.88. We'll repeat the process for Foster, and the employer must contribute $39.38 to bring these employees up to minimum wage.